We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show, The Review. And I'm your host, Kieran Stewart. I hope you're all right today, boys and girls, yeah? A lot of heads gone yesterday. A couple of comments went out. Boom! It was almost like a nuclear holocaust. People walking around like zombies trying to attack everyone. Madness. Madness. Words, insults getting thrown about left, right, and centre. Do you know what I mean? Like I stole someone's picnic. Relax, people. There's still tonight and tomorrow left of the transfer window, and I'm sure it's going to be busy for all teams involved. Now, let's get to the show. We have our usual panel of superstar guests, and they are ripe and ready for the transfer window as it goes along. But before that, I just want to say, make sure you like and subscribe, because we've got the biggest day in the channel's history. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big. We've not been going that long, actually. So, but I'm just hyping it up. We've got guests galore. We've got guests from all over the globe, from Colombia, from Russia, from the UK, Dagenham, the lot. We don't care where they're from.
You don't care, Dagenham.
But the Dagenham one,
Yeah, tell you what.
wait.
Yeah, you wait. Yeah.
You wait to see who the Dagenham one is.
Forget Romford Pele, we got the Dagenham Pele, mate, and he's got previous, and I'm not joking. We're talking Barcelona. Yeah, we ain't messed around on here. We've got guests associated with Arsenal. We've got guests associated with Manchester City, West Ham, the lot. We've got guests from the Athletic. We've got guests from all over the place, and it's only
Everton.
on one channel. All right, Simon. This is my bit. Yeah, bro.
The channel that knows nobody. Apparently.
What? No one asked for sharing. This is my spot. All right. This is why I got the big square. Jerome's the only one playing along right now. Don't worry, Jerome. I got you, mate. All right.
He's gone. The teacher's pet has left.
What are the chances? Don't worry, Jerome. I got you, mate. Evicted. Next. That was just in case he started to pipe up as well, like you two. So I had to get rid of him. All right.
So, if you're interested in being a member of the Transfer Exchange, please leave us an email.
It's just we're so hyped up. See, it's deadline day.
We're hyped up. We're hyped up. All right, I'm hyped up to go into this comment section where hopefully I don't see a band of ITK frauds. You are this, you are that. I'm hoping a lot of love right now. All right. All right. All right, let's go. Today, we have not Jerome anymore, but we have, it's an Aston Villa and West Bromwich Albion special. We're going to the Midlands. We're going to check them out. We're going to check out the youth. We're going to check out how they did last season, how they're doing last season, who they're buying, and potentially they could be buying players before the transfer window shuts tomorrow night at 12 o'clock. And I forgot to add, we will be on throughout the day, not 24 hours, because we've got to eat. Do you know what I mean? People, there's other things to do. All right, we've got to do a bit of research in between. We've got to speak to guests and stuff like that. So, but we will be around a lot of the time. Always going live. You'll always be able to check us. I'm going to start off at 9:30 in the morning. I don't even know. I'm going to peel my eyes open that early. But I'm going to give you an itinerary of the day, so you can pick and choose what guests you want to join us with. And obviously, you get to choose who's going to interest you the most. All right. On that note, let's get going. All right. Let's even this up a little bit. Jerome, wherever you are, please come back. We miss you already. Plus, I've got a load of player profiles that I've done write-ups for, and I'm hoping you're going to be able to tell the world how good they are and what they have to bring to each team. Anyway, let's start this off. Aston Villa. I mean, they survived the relegation last season. Dean Smith, the manager. Jack Grealish, the talisman. This is a team who, in my eyes, they belong in the Premier League. They're a big team. They should never be out of the Premier League. But they, every now and again, well, it weren't every now and again, it was the last time, they seem to fall off the cliff. And it took a little while to get back. But now they're back. hopefully they're here to stay. Steve, how did they do last season?
Oh,
yeah, it's a bit.
It was a roller coaster ride, wasn't it, for the Aston Villa fans? You know, it looks a bit curtains at first, but I just want to say what you said there. The fact that Aston Villa deserve in the Premier League is, you know, 100% agree with you. Massive club, and thank God that they're back where they belong. But it did look a bit tough at first of all. They were sitting at 19th in the league just before we stopped for the coronavirus. But when they returned, it was a different story. And I think a lot of that was down to Dean Smith. I don't think he gets enough credit. I know he gets credit, but I don't think he gets enough credit. I think you always hear about the Chris Wilders and the Sean Dyches, but not so much Dean Smith, who I put those three sort of English managers in the same sort of category.
Wait, Steve, sorry. Do you think that's because there's more expectation on Dean Smith because of the money that he has to spend at Aston Villa and that they're, on paper, a bigger team?
Yeah, it could be that. It could be that. I was just looking at it from the fact that as a team, they were struggling big time. But you're certainly right that the fact that that he's got more money and he should be able to deal with things, I suppose. You look at it that. But the fact is, he turned them around, and like you said, he was given a massive war chest at the beginning of the season. You are right, which I think was around about the 140 million mark, 150 million mark, and they struggled, but they got through it, and I'm just glad where they are. I'm glad they're back in the Premiership. We'll probably go on to the players a bit later, but yeah, that was sort of. I'm just glad they're back, and that was sort of. I just hope they just go on and don't get put into such a sort of position again. I don't think they will.
Yeah, Si, before the break. They want to run of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in a row, dropping points to Southampton, Bournemouth, teams around them as well. How much do you think the break played a part in their survival? How much do you think that done them good? Do you think things were involved, the chats, hyping them up before they come back? How much do you think that the break did them good?
Well, for the start of the season, they were absolutely dog rubbish, weren't they, really? Let's be honest. I mean, sorry, Villa fans, if you're watching. But yeah, they were. But then what's impressed me with Villa this summer is that the fact that they've got Tyrone Mings on a new deal. They've got they've brought in Ross Barkley, who's playing fantastic against Liverpool as we speak. Jack Grealish on a new deal as well. That were 2 players that everyone said that they weren't going to be there, because obviously Leicester were in for Mings and Man United and Arsenal were sniffing around Jack Grealish. But when it came to coronavirus and then they came back after the lockdown, Project Restart, they looked totally different. They looked like they knew what they were doing on the pitch. And I don't know if that had something to do with fans in the stadium not getting on their back. Because when they go a goal down at Villa Park, the fans will get on their back and they literally just fold like a pack of cards. I mean, look at when they came to the Emirates. That was the easiest game that they had all season, in my opinion. They absolutely bossed us. Well,
from the break, after the break, they only lost 4 games. And of them 4 games, they lost to Liverpool, Manchester United, Wolves, and Chelsea. They took points off Sheffield United, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Everton, Arsenal, and West Ham. So I don't know what Dean Smith said during some form of Zoom meeting to these players, but it had an effect. It had a massive effect.
Yeah, I think it's the important wins. I think they beat Watford and Bournemouth as well.
Yeah, you're taking points off teams around you.
And if you're taking if you're taking points off the teams that, and look what happened to Watford and Bournemouth in the end. You know, they ended up being relegated. So they were probably just maybe more important than the ones that you just mentioned. So,
yeah. So what is it that you feel Aston Villa needed at the start of the season? What was it they needed to shore up on? What were their frailties from last season?
Striker.
Yeah.
They needed a striker. They needed a midfielder that was like Jack Grealish, and obviously that's why they've got Ross Barkley, because he's that sort of kind of player. They did need another defender, but then Tyrone Mings signed his new deal. They needed a winger, so they brought in the I forgot his name now. The young kid that they've brought from Spain.
Traore, was it? Bertrand Traore?
No, they got him from Lyon, didn't they?
Lyon, it was Spain.
Bertrand Traore.
From Lyon, yeah, ex-Chelsea.
Right. So they got him as well. So they've got more squad depth about them now as well.
Yeah.
They're actually more hard to deal with as well. I mean, they're 4-1 up at the minute against Liverpool. Just blowing Liverpool away. 4-1.
Obviously,
they're blowing them.
They've got a very good squad now.
And keeping players like Jack Grealish, like managers will say that's like a new signing, but it is. I mean, he's an England national now. If anyone wants Jack Grealish, they've got to pay the big money for him.
Yeah.
He's proven that he can do it at a level in the Premier League, and you'll be buying a very, very good player. How long can they keep hold of him for, Steve?
Well, he's been at one point he was linked with every sort of top club in the country, wasn't he? Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. You know, Man United was a big. It seemed like he was going there at some point. Tottenham was another one. That was another very big. Lick rumour that he was going to. Apparently, they had talks. But I think we said on the show once that everybody seemed to be giving him a knockback. So whether the rumours are true, whether the links were true, I don't know. But it's turned out that Jack stayed there, and he's certainly Mr. Villa. He comes across as Mr. Villa. To be fair to him, he's had his critics, but to be fair to Jack, he's always done it on the pitch. He's never let Villa down, and maybe he never wanted to leave in the first place.
Yeah, look, it's well documented that he's a Brummy boy. He's a Villa boy through and through. And some people, you've seen it where they're so ingrained to the club that if they were to potentially move to another team, it's just not the same. And it's not that they're flopping. It's just some players just need that comfort, that team around them. So maybe Villa could be the team that Jack Grealish stays with and grows with him as a player. What do you reckon to that one side? Do you reckon there's a potential that happen, or do you think Jack Grealish will eventually leave?
No, he's going to leave. He'll leave next summer. I think if you look at it, he wanted out. He was very open that he wanted a new challenge. He was in talks with Man United. He was in talks with Arsenal. He was in talks with Tottenham, but they went for somebody else. We've not gone for someone yet, as obviously we'll find out tomorrow. United went for Donny van der Beek and Bruno. They've got Pogba in there, so he's not going to go there. So what he's done basically, he's looked at it and he's gone, no, there's nowhere else for me to go. I'm not going to get in Chelsea's team because they're midfielders. So he's gone basically, I'll stay for another year. I'll sign a good contract for you, so then you'll be able to sell me for good money. and that'll be my thank you, basically. But Steven Gerrard, everyone says was loyalty to Liverpool. He was close to leaving to Chelsea, but that deal fell through.
But there's very few players that go through a career without contemplating leaving their clubs. Like I don't know of any that wouldn't even cross their mind, especially now. We're not talking about 40 years ago, 30 years ago. We're talking about now. And there's not necessarily that connection to clubs, because not every player comes through the clubs and then goes to the first team. Sometimes a lot of these players that are coming through have come from other teams. So you don't have that allegiance to your club. It's not the same. But
I think the thing with Jack is obviously what going to want to. The thing is, does he want to leave or not? But the thing is, with the Villa hierarchy, what they've got to do, they've got to put the right price on him to leave.
And that's the thing, Steve. I was just about to get to that. I was just about to get to that, because we've seen it very much so with players like Wilfried Zaha. Now, Wilfried Zaha, we're not even talking about this season and last season. We're talking about previous seasons. Wilfried Zaha rips it up in the Premier League, and then his price tag is too high for what people rate him at. Like people would rate him at a 40 million to 50 million pound max. They want 70, 80 million. It's just not realistic. Now, are Aston Villa potentially going to price Jack Grealish out of ever moving out of the club?
I hope not. I hope not, because.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it was just a quick sentence. I hope not, because of what whatever you think about Jack Grealish, like him or hate him, he's Marmite. But he has given his all for Aston Villa, and he's been there a long while.
But where does he go? And that's the thing.
So to put 80 million on his head,
wouldn't
be fair.
Yeah.
I think it's a gentleman's agreement, same as Maddison at Leicester.
Yeah, I hope so.
But these gentlemen's agreements, like, we've seen them. And the thing is, if I have a gentleman's agreement with someone, me personally, I stick by it, yeah? But clubs will have gentlemen's agreements with players, and then when it comes to the following season and that gentleman's agreement is meant to be upheld, the clubs turn around to them and go, sorry, we can't do it. So these gentlemen's agreements aren't worth the paper that they're written on.
Yeah,
because it's just word of mouth. It's just word of mouth. It's just his word against my word. And we've seen so many times the fallouts from players where they've had this agreement from the managers or the chairman, and then it comes to the time that it's meant to happen, and it doesn't happen. Messi had it written into his contract, and not even he could get out of the club. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's all well and good having a gentleman's agreement or a verbal agreement, but it doesn't mean anything when it comes to a club actually wanting you. So, and that's the worry with players like Jack Grealish or at certain clubs.
These players should get something signed before they.
And that's what I'm saying. When he's signing that new contract, is it within his interest to say to the club, if a team in the top four come after me, we have to talk, and there has to be some form of reasonable price offer, minimum release to a club in the top floor or something like that.
Because
players need to be smart on this as well. Like
Zaha did the same thing, didn't he, when Arsenal, not this summer but last, when they wanted him. If you're in the Champions League, then we'll let you go for 40. But if you're not in the Champions League, then they're going to pay 80 for you.
I mean, and that's just not going to happen. That's never
nowhere near.
Happen. So that
even
remains
40 a stretch.
Yeah. Youth players at Aston Villa, they've been well renowned. They've got a very, very good youth team. My boy Jerome seems to have gone missing on us, and he was going to do the player profile read up. So hopefully we'll be able to get him at the end. But a couple of players I really like the look of was Tyreek Wright, Indiana Vasilev, and Louis Barry, which I'm sure even if Aston Villa fans, even not Aston Villa fans may have heard of Louis Barry. He came from West Brom, which I'm going to speak about when we go to the West Brom section. Went to Barcelona and then got got bought by Aston Villa. Very good prospect. He's that street footballer. He's got that. It's just an instinct. Quick, very good dribbler of the ball. Very easy on the eye. And there's a very bright future. Louis Barry does. Predictions for this season, and they've started off excellently. And I mean, as you was just saying there, 4-1 up against the current Premier League champions, Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, how are they going to do next season, sir? This season.
I don't think they'll be fighting relegation.
And
I think they've got a better squad.
Okay, on that, just before we get to that, do you feel that the money that they've put in this year, Dean Smith will be under pressure to not be fighting relegation?
Yes.
It's a lot of money.
That's what I mean. Like
they've got what they need though as well. They needed a proper striker, and they've got this guy from Brentford who's just got a hat trick. So he's doing already better.
Oh, Ollie Watkins.
He's got an hat trick, so he's doing better than what
we said. We said previously. Yeah, we said previously. Ollie Watkins is the kind of player that can come into the Premier League and score goals. Very good signing. Very good signing.
So I think they'll finish 15th, 14th.
All right.
I think it'll be a nightmare for them, for you basically to go to Villa Park this season. So I think they'll do better than what they did last year.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they've taken the momentum from last season right at the end and then carried that on, because I think I saw something they were unbeaten in pre-season as well. I think. Well, they were unbeaten in pre-season. The first game they lost since beating Aston Villa, beating Crystal Palace on the 12th of July. They lost to Stoke last week in the EFL Cup. So Aston Villa are on fire. They're hitting a nice bit of form. Steve, how do you think Aston Villa will do this season?
Yeah, I totally agree with Simon. I don't think there'll be any chance of them getting relegated. They've got too strong a squad. They've made excellent signings. Matty Cash, Ollie Watkins, Martinez, Barkley, and the guy we was just talking about, Traore.
Yeah.
Excellent buys, all five of them.
Yeah.
And then they've got a good mixture of what they had last season with John McGinn, and obviously Jack Grealish, and like Simon also said, Tyrone Mings. That's a good squad. That's a very good squad.
They've made inquiries as well, though, haven't they, for Socrates?
I didn't know that. I know they've made a couple of inquiries for a couple of other players, but no, I didn't know that one. But yeah, they look like they mean business, and
yeah, they do.
And I think they've made the right buys. Yeah, when you're looking at that squad, you think that they could really have a good season. I'd say 14th, about 14th.
I mean that's staying away from relegation and having a little bit of a breather.
I think they're good enough squad to do that. Yeah.
All right, Aston Villa. Hopefully, you have a season predicted, like the boys said. No relegation dogfight, and a couple of more players in the England squad. Well, at least Jack Grealish in the England squad again, because I think he deserves it, especially after last season. A little update on Jerome. Last message he sent was, my computer switched off, and it's currently trying to update. Well, Jerome, if you can hear me, turn that mother off and get your ass in here.
Where's the voice? We're missing the voice.
What are you doing to me? My female fans are just gone. Just gone, bruv. West Brom.
No, we don't.
West Brom. But, well, we actually did a piece on West Brom previously, didn't we? Where at that point they just secured automatic football, and there was a player so we didn't know was coming up with them. So we probably touched a little bit on that. But West Brom, they got up into the Premier League this season. How have they done? How are they doing? How do you think they're going to do? Who did they bring in? Let's go. Let's start with you, Steve. West Brom.
Finished second, didn't they? again, very very similar to Aston Villa. A lot done. Because of the manager that they've got in West Brom. They've got Slaven Bilic now, who's doing a fantastic job there. When they started their season off, they had a pre-season from hell. I mean, and they didn't look like they was going to. If you would have said to someone they was going to be promoted into the Premiership at the end of the season, you would have laughed and you would have said no way. I mean, to be honest with you, they when they went down, they wasn't a side that I was looking forward to coming back, along with Stoke.
I know you mean.
They wasn't a team that played the greatest of football.
Who was their manager when they went down?
He was always on Match of the Day last.
They were, weren't they? Who was their mate? Was it Pulis when they went down? Who was it when they went down?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't even remember who it was when they went down.
Was, but you was.
Yeah, with Tony Pulis, weren't it?
Was it Tony Pulis at West Brom?
Because him from West Ham.
Yeah.
He's the manager now, isn't he? Yeah, I think it was.
I mean, it was a pretty dour, way of football. But Slaven Bilic has come in, and what he's done, he's with the players that he's got, because they haven't got a lot of money, and their budget is small, and he's used the players that he's got to the best interest, and how to play, and that's basically to defend and basically win the odd 1-0 or the odd 2-1s. I mean, their goal scorers, nobody got over 10 goals when they come up. I mean, it was just Charlie Austin and someone else. Robson Carnu. I mean, over that, there wasn't one player who went into double figures. So you can just tell by that it's everything was defense. The shining light for them was Slaven Bilic. I mean, he just kept that, strong defensive, strong midfield, balance every game, and he got them promoted, and good luck to them. But they're gonna, I worry for them. I do worry for them this season.
When Simon, when you see Slaven Bilic, do you think it's the way he sets out his team, or do you think it's a bit of his man management as well that makes the teams tick that he manages?
I think it's man management. I do think it's man management, but we're a manager like who they've got. I think they can agree with me on this, but they're already privileged to have this manager at West Brom, because for me, he's levels above West Brom. No offense, but he is levels above West Brom. And
I don't think anyone would take offense to say it was a surprise for me that Slaven Bilic was West Brom manager when, I mean, he was manager at Croatia, did really well. Yeah, he had the 2 seasons at West Ham where he did well before they kind of slipped off. But I think I put down the West Ham thing to the moving the stadium, because that's a tough one for any team to move stadium, and it didn't go his way. But it was a surprise for me that he was the manager when they were in the Championship. So I think they would agree that it was a blessing to have him as manager at that time. So I don't think that's any offence to that, mate.
I think for this season, they'll get relegated. Sorry, they'll get relegated. Since they've been in the Premier League, only Jeff Horsfield has scored more goals in a season for West Brom than any striker they've had.
That is some research I did not expect you to put out, but I'm not going to lie.
It is though. Jeff Horsfield.
Take a bow, mate.
Jeff Horsfield has scored more goals in one season for West Brom, and they still haven't replaced him since they've come back up. They're going down for me, second behind Sheffield United.
I mean, if we're going to go so far in the season, and look at, because you could think Simon's being harsh, because I mean, Simon's not one to to beat around the bush or pull any punches. He goes straight for the jugular with a chainsaw. That's our Simon, but that's why we love him. But he's not wrong. Since the Premier League started, 3 goals, shipped in 3 goals against Leicester. They shipped in 5 goals against Everton. Even in the EFL Cup, they shipped in 2 goals against Brentford, 3 against Chelsea after being 3-0 up, and then 2 again today. This is a team that you were saying to me was, it's not like you just told me, but if you're saying that this is a team that last season was set up on his defence, what's happened this season?
Different levels, just totally different levels.
Yeah,
you know, it's like I said, they've come up, they've been promoted. They've not got the greatest of budgets. They've done well with what they can. They've brought in Grady Diagana, which is a good signing. They've built with a few others on loans: Matis Piera, Cedric Kipro, David Button. They brought in Branislav Ivanovic, Callum Robinson, and Conor Gallagher. So they have got some decent players there, but I still don't think it's enough.
I mean, what's his name? The old Chelsea player that you've just mentioned, Ivanovic. He's obviously been brought in for like experience to try, dressing room and stuff like that. Oh, it's 5-1. And
no
then
way.
It's 5-1.
We've done this on the right night, haven't we? This Villa.
Tottenham 6-1 and these 5-1. Get it in my veins. Sorry, I know it's Tottenham. That's why I can't enjoy it.
You're going to need it with the stress that you're going to be going through today and tomorrow, mate. Trust me on that one.
I know.
But they have got some good players. I'm trying to sort of give West Brom fans out there who are watching a bit of hope.
Yeah, sorry, I just killed you.
No, but Steve's right. Look, there's always hope. Look, I think West Brom are not coming into this season thinking, let's absolutely try and cruise. We're looking for a Sheffield United or what Wolves done, around about mid-table, just under Europe. Don't mind it. If we had that, it's all right. Anything less than that, I'm not happy. I think West Brom are realistically thinking, if we survive this, banging, and let's consolidate, take it on till next season. Like teams coming up, generally the first thought is survive. No matter how you do it, survive. And this is the team was like what, the first team to ever on Christmas Day be bottom to then survive a Premier League. I mean, keep that, take that with you.
If they survive relegation this season with the teams that's in and the teams around that bottom where they'll be fighting, and they actually survive, either it's on the final day or whenever, I will do one of these streams in my birthday suit.
I don't want to see that.
You better make sure they get relegated then.
I don't think anyone wants to see it.
But the only chance I think that they might stay up, they've got the manager, Slaven Bilic. Yeah, they've got the manager. If he sorts out the defence and can defend like the way they did when they came up, and sort something out there, get Branislav Ivanovic, like Simon said, he's the older statesman. He can sort of get that defence ticking. He's the Premiership experience. Obviously, it's a brilliant signing. It's an intelligent signing. There is a chance, but don't do a Norwich, because what Norwich did. Norwich came up and thought they could beat the world and play exciting football and slaughter everybody. You can't do that. You'll end up back down in the Championship. I know it's all right saying, oh, Godfrey's great and Campbell's great and Max Aarons is great and Pookie's great. But that's no good when you're bottom of the table, when you're getting beat 5, when you're scoring 4. So there might be a chance.
Your tactics come into it as well, like you said, with the manager. Because look at Sheffield. Nobody saw what they were going to do last season. But now this season, they've all been found out. Every team's found them out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a good point you make with regards to Norwich. But did they buy right, or did they just think these are the team that get us up? We'll take the money, we'll do like we're planning ahead. We know we're going to go down, but we're planning for the following season to come straight back up, and then stay in the Premier League. Like, but the thing is with Norwich, they're going to potentially lose what 3 or 4 of them players. Are they going to be able to get up off of that? West Brom seem to be doing a bit of a smarter thing and actually buying in players, but are the players that they're bringing in enough? Steve, I know you did a little bit of research on what kind of players they're maybe looking for, who they've brought in themselves already. Are there any other players that they're looking to bring in? Yeah,
funny enough, we talk about defensive players. It's funny, the two links that I found out was attacking links. So and the first one was Andrews Townsend from Crystal Palace.
Oh, Crystal Palace going to let him go?
Well, they're believed to be a £6 million offer going in tomorrow. So let's wait and see. Let's see what happens there. He's a decent player.
I think that'll be a good buy for them, if I'm honest.
He'll do a job.
I think it'll be a good buy for him. I mean, he'd get you what, 5 goals a season, a few assists. It's a troublemaker. So I think I don't mind Andros Townsend. I think he's a bit one-dimensional. You know, he's always going to try and knock it onto his left and whip it in the top corner. But it works. It works. So
he's certainly one of these players who you would say now has his days, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, he's still. I think he still has 20. I think he's only 28, something round about that. So he's still got a lot of time in him. I remember at his time, I'm going to get this wrong. Though you've got to tell me it wasn't. But I think he got bought from QPR. Was it QPR? He was at? But
he might have been on loan. Andros Townsend.
Yeah, and then he went to Spurs. Was it? Then he went from Spurs, and he was. Everybody sort of was like really up in arms about.
Well, he came through the youth ranks at Spurs, and I think he was loaned out at QPR. He's also loaned out to. I think he was initially loaned out to Crystal Palace in the first place. I think, and then came back, and then Tottenham sold him. But I think he had his England stint when he was in the Tottenham team, because he was
on
at
fire,
Newcastle as well. He was at Newcastle as well, because he kept on doing that, didn't he? He kept on jigging him onto his left and just whipping him in the top corner. So
so he could do a job. We'll see tomorrow. It'd be a good signing if they can get him. Whether there's other players going out might make it a bit easier. He's certainly worth $6 million. The other one is a centre forward as well. He's Carlin Grant from Huddersfield.
He was Carlin Grant. He was at Charlton, I think he was originally. Yeah,
and apparently they're working hard to get him. Their budget is really small, and they want to come to agreement on deadline day for like a structured deal with him. But I think I would have thought with a club like Huddersfield, I would think they would want to mess about with structured deals. I thought they would want the money there and then.
Yeah, and I mean, and to be fair, it's not a deal that would necessarily have to be concluded tomorrow, because, as we know, the transfer window for teams transferring within the same country still goes on to, I think it's the 15th. So it doesn't close tomorrow.
So a couple of attackers there they seem to be linked with.
So did you have any additional onto that?
I did have them on me. What do you call it? My little tablet, but I forgot to charge it up. So I'm charging it up basically now for tomorrow. So I can't go and get it now. There's the Barnsley.
Go on. So I was going to reprimanded. Sorry, I was thinking out loud.
There's the Barnsley centre back that they've looked at. Forgot his name now. Something Chris. But there's him that they've looked at. They were also having little looks at Aaron Lennon.
Right.
Because he's at Burnley at the minute, isn't he?
No, he's gone. He's gone to.
Is he gone?
Turkish, to a Turkish club.
So there's him.
He's moved to a Turkish club.
They were looking at Chuba Akpom, but before he went to Middlesbrough. Yeah, he actually chose Middlesbrough.
I mean,
basically.
is Chupa Akpom going to keep you in the Premier League?
No.
I mean,
Look,
I've got a lot of love for ex-Arsenal players, but I'm sorry, he's not. He could probably do a job in the Championship, and no doubt, at progression over the years, he'd probably become a better player and a Premier League player. But he's not keeping you up in the Premier League. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was told by somebody else as well on Twitter on a West Brom site that Theo Wilcott they've been speaking to and trying to get him on a loan for a season, which makes sense because you've got obviously Richarlison and he can't even get in that team at the minute. So there were that one, and there weren't really much I found. Weren't really a lot of players. Mostly like loans for like Championship and League One players that could probably just come in and be squad depth.
But like Steve said, I mean, if anyone's going to be hit by a COVID situation, it's going to be teams that come up from the league below.
Unless you Leeds,
unless you Leeds, and you've got a billionaire chairman who's happy to spend money. West Brom
Six.
No, it's not. 6-1.
Grealish.
You're joking me.
Has anyone got Grealish in their dream team?
Oh, you ain't, have you? If you have,
I feel. Go and have a look, Steve. It's the transfer exchange team, I think, or it might be my other one, but that's my one, and the transfer exchange team is the transfer exchange one. Steve has got two, one in a different name. That's
because you didn't tell me how to use the wild card properly. Anyway, we carry on.
Whoa. What? I distinctly remember you telling me that you're going to smash me all over the park in this, and then when it comes to it, you don't even know the rules. Anyway, I digress. Huh?
Early days.
This is another pod in itself. So don't worry, we'll have that. West Bromwich Albion have got a well-renowned youth system. Jimmy Sean, under-21s coach, says they focus on playing the right way, passing out from the back. It's not easy, but it's not easy as a lot of their players get poached, as you can understand. Just around the corners, their noisy neighbours in Aston Villa, and just down the road there you've got Birmingham City. And I mean, it's not exactly hard to get to Birmingham, a centre point in the country, and you can just get any of their players and pick them up as soon as they're doing bits. One of the players, as I spoke about, for instance, as an example, Louis Barry, he went to Barcelona, and that cost Barcelona 170k. He then got homesick, and within the same year, went to Aston Villa. Aston Villa had to pay 700k for him. Now, this is the problem. That's a serious problem. A team like West Brom are producing these players, and it's not just the likes of Louis Barry, because there's been previous before. Isaiah Brown, another well-renowned, and I'm not talking about just, this kid's decent. Isaiah Brown was one of the best youngsters in the country at one point. Chelsea bought him. And then Chelsea, where is he now? I think he ended up going... I think he ended up getting sold on in the end, but that's the problem that West Brom have, because they're of this level. Clubs are just coming in and poaching. Do certain clubs like this, Steve, need to be protected from bigger clubs poaching their youth players?
Oh, what a joy that would be! You know what a joy that would be, because we on here, we deal a lot with the youths, and we hate to see young players going to big clubs and basically ended up sitting on the bench and then ended up ruining their careers. There's one at the moment, a man Traore, we're begging not to go to Manchester United. Not nothing against Manchester United. It's because it's he won't get a game, but there needs to be protection. There needs to be protection, or there needs to be some kind of cap or an age cap on players of where they go, where they keep picking these up for 15, 16, 17 years old. It's wrong.
It's too early.
It's too long, and there should be a cap. There should be an age cap. After that, then okay, fair enough. Because after that, a player may very well want to go, and there's not a lot you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
But at these ages, at 15, 16, 17, when you're hearing about all these players going to the top clubs, I think it's sad. And 9 times out of 10, you never hear of them. The perfect example is Jude Bellingham. He did the right thing at the age he is. Went to Borussia Dortmund. Man United wanted him. Turned Man United down. He went to Borussia Dortmund to further his career. And there's, that's the other way. That's the other way of going. If you're going to go to a club, go to a club who's going to further your career. But personally, I think there should be a cap. I think there should be a cap.
Lampsey from Brighton.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, like Lampsey as well from Brighton. He's at Chelsea, and obviously he's gone to Brighton because he knows he's going to perform there, and he's going to enhance and get himself better than what. And basically, it looks like Chelsea have actually let a diamond go because he's one. I take him over Bellerin, me all day, every day of the week.
Excellent example.
Well, they've got. I mean, who have they got in there? They've got Dave, old Ashbilla. But I mean, it's not a bad backup.
No.
So and like you said,
it just makes you think now. Wilfred Zaha going to Man United at the age that he did,
and it was.
It's such a wake up call to every young footballer. You may want to play for Man United; it's your dream, but it's about timing. Do it when you're ready.
Yeah, it's about timing, and we've seen it previously. I mean, I feel like now the younger player is more clued up about their career and how they want it to progress. It seems as though they're managing their career a lot better. You will get these players every now and again that will leave early because the bright lights of a Premier League or the Barcelona, and it just sounds too good to turn down. But you do have to look at your career path. I mean, for instance, Louis Barry went to Barcelona. When he gets to Barcelona, okay, I don't know how much he stands out and whether he's doing well. He looked from what I saw, because I kept a tab on him, that he was doing relatively well. But I'm sure it would have been a massive culture shock when he got to Barcelona and seen the standard that he got to there. And how likely was that he was actually going to make it through at Barcelona? And where does he go after that? Because it's very easy to get lost in and amongst some of the better players in the round. I mean, how many players come through at Barcelona itself? And even when they do, are they established? I mean, it's like all the top clubs, isn't it? I mean, how many people out on loan from Chelsea and Manchester City, and if you heard their names, you'd never know they was from Manchester City or Chelsea, and then they end up in the first division.
Yeah,
the second
Barcelona.
division.
Go look at their youth system. Go look how they play football and everything. Yeah. It's like watching Pep Guardiola manage that Messi, Thierry Henry, Eto'o, all them lot. They're so good. The youth system, and a young kid going there. No wonder he's homesick. He's probably terrified.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a culture shock as well. Just touching on, I was about to say just touching on Louis Barry, but just speaking of Louis Barry, Jerome did a little checked him out, so we're going to bring Jerome back in just for to speak about Louis Barry. Then I'm going to evict him again because he left us in the lurch. So welcome back, Jerome.
That is smooth. That is smooth.
You should be smiling. You should not be smiling.
You missed out 50 minutes of the show, bro.
You missed out the best bit. Jeff Horsefield. Jeff Horsefield.
What an entrance. What an entrance.
Who signed who? Who signed who? What
But what an entrance, eh? And here he is, like magic.
Yeah. So I left him backstage. He was like, "Kids, let me back in." I was like, "You can wait. You can wait. I'm going to do an entrance for you." Here we go.
Were you,
That was a good entrance.
were you
You've
talking
got bridges to build with me.
Yeah, I know.
You missed my stat on Jeff Horsfield.
The horse.
God, Joe,
The
what
big
you said?
horse.
Were you talking about Louis Barry, the player that played for Barcelona under 19 when he was 16? Is that who you're talking about?
I was actually. Do you have any information on him, Jerome?
I know his family are all Villa fans.
All right, because he used to play for Villa.
This is so badly rehearsed.
He plays for Villa now. He plays for Villa now.
West Brom. He played
He
for
was at West Brom.
Yeah.
Stand corrected. My fault.
Oh,
You know what?
he's 7.
Joking.
I'm sure you've mentioned he's 17 years old, and to be honest with you, I'd never really heard of him before. But the people that have worked with him reckons he's one of like the best talents in English football. Like they think this guy's got a really big future. Like for the England youth, he scored 21 goals in 20 games. Like for the England youth team, now that's like an incredible record. But yeah, I think I heard you saying before he went to Barcelona, was only there for a little bit, and then Villa have.
You got homesick, which is understandable for such a young kid.
Yeah. Everyone thinks it's easy, don't they, to sort of, go to a new country, acclimatise, but it's not straightforward for a lot of people. It's not as simple. It's in fact we should probably give people more credit for the ones that do sort of acclimatise and and stay where they stay in a new country, totally new environment.
Yeah, because it's a big lifestyle change.
Yeah, massive. I know it myself from moving abroad. It's massive.
Yeah, and people don't. Okay, playing football's one thing, but the football part of it is what 3 hours of your day. The rest of it, you've got that's the rest of your surroundings. If you've not got family there, you've not got friends there, you don't speak the language. That's a big culture shock. So and look, Louis Barry seems like one of the guys who's it's a very community kind of vibe around him. He's very much of a local boy, and it's probably better that he is closer to home now. Another player that I think you may have looked at is Rico Richards, is it?
Yeah, so this is the West Brom player.
Yeah.
So he's just turned 17. He's actually been with West Brom since he was 7 years old. And he's already trained with the first team. He was on the bench last season for an FA Cup game. He's sort of one of these players that makes things happen, a creative player, creative midfielder. But yeah, still someone that's so young. So whether he sort of plays or not in the first team this season, it might be a bit early for him. Yeah. But yeah, he's just 17, so he's so young still.
But one player who came through the youth ranks at Chelsea and has had a couple of loan spells and has just been on loan this season to West Brom is Conor Gallagher. How good is he, and do you think he's got what it takes to sort of do it in the Premier League?
So he, as you say, he was on loan at a couple of clubs, Charlton and Swansea, and Lee Bowyer was his manager at Charlton. He said he's an all-round midfielder, box to box, really sort of full of energy, high work rate. He actually had minor heart surgery in 2018. He had an irregular heartbeat, sort of got that seen to, and now I think he's on, as you say, he's on loan from Chelsea. So he's highly spoke of from sort of previous managers. Yeah. And he's played with the England youth teams as well, including the under-21s. And his sort of idol growing up was Lampard, so sort of being
Yeah, I went and see him at Charlton a few times, and he's a fan's favourite when he was down there, and they were gutted when he left and went to Swansea. He's full of energy. Yeah, he's just very technically gifted. Just makes the right decisions and keeps it simple, and he done very well in the Championship club at a young age. So I think it's a good signing for West Brom, and I think by the end of the season, maybe not now necessarily, but by the end of the season, I think he'd be a regular for their team. Yeah. Predictions for this season. I mean, you guys are saying
Villa to win the league, isn't it?
Near enough. I mean, 14th, if that's the league standings, 14th is what that they gave. But Steve, where do you think West Brom will come? I think it's over for them.
Yeah, this is sad really, because this is the first one that I'm going to be saying on the out of our special editions that I'm going to say they're going to be relegated. Yeah, I just don't think they've got enough. I don't think they've got enough up front, and I just think that at the moment there's still more a Championship side than the Premiership side. They need a lot more. Maybe if they go down and then they come back next season, then possibly they can give the Premiership a run. But no, so I'll say 18th.
Okay, Simon, what are you going for?
Second from bottom.
Yeah, I think everyone. I was just gonna say, I think everyone knows who.
Yeah,
it's going to be bottom, but we're waiting until that's their week to have their day, eh? Jerome, where do you think they're going to come?
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to see them surviving, isn't it? So 18th or 19th, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. You know, you can have the only chance I think a club like West Brom have got is if they have a bit of magic in the next transfer window, perhaps.
Yeah.
And then someone comes along and scores like a ridiculous amount of goals or something. Otherwise, it's going to be hard.
And look, Caelan Grant's a very good player. He scored goals for Huddersfield when they were in the Prem, but I think they're buying for potentially next season to come straight back up by buying someone like him, because he will score goals for you in the Championship, and I think he will score goals for them in the Premier League. But I don't think it would be enough for them to stay up. So I think I'm in agreement with you guys. Okay, it is that time again. It is the transfer roundup, and it's been a busy week to say the least. Yeah, I mean, hectic.
I thought that was 8.
No,
I thought that was 8. It's 7-2.
It's 7-2. Oh my God.
No way.
I thought that was 8.
The Premier League has gone mental this season. The goals is ridiculous.
You know what? Because of this, what's happened? Maybe there's a chance that Arsenal will be able to sell some of their defenders. A few teams might be defenders.
I think you said there's a chance for Arsenal to win the league. What were you been drinking on that little gap you was in here?
Oh yeah.
I think I might be thinking of putting Villa up a couple of places. To what
you might have to, mate. I tell you what, Ollie Watkins has smashed it. How many goals has Jack Grealish got?
3.
No, he hasn't.
He scored a hat trick, and Ollie Watkins has scored an hat trick. And he scored 2 assists.
I'm 100% going to be top of that league. All right, back to the business end. All right, because it is the business end, because it's Sunday, and I'm not sure any deals went down within the last couple of hours. Probably loads, but they went going through all the night. And tomorrow, of course, don't forget to join us from 9:30 in the morning, where you'll catch me peeling my eyes open and probably half dressed with a cup of tea in my hand. But it will be the start of a great day, I can tell you that. All right. Today I've got my laptop because,
a bit flash.
I didn't have enough time for what are you saying?
Donations are paying off.
Touch bar.
Smash screen.
All right. What are you talking about? You look like tablets.
That's
right. Smash screen. Fingers got to go through the screen for it to actually press something. Don't
give me that. Oh, what, are you complaining? Right, I'm going to send a courier around to your house now to go and pick that up, you ungrateful bastard. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Right. We're going to start the week off with Michael Cousins' deal to Leeds was on. He had a medical, and then the deal was off. how does that happen when the deal was done? It wasn't done because Bayern Munich.
Wonder what?
Because Bayern Munich still had to tie up a few things, and they weren't happy with the things that Leeds wanted to tie up. So he went and done a medical in vain. Manchester United are trying to close in on a deal for Ousmane Dembele. And most recently, I'm hearing that Dembele still wants to stay, but Paul Pogba, while on French international duty, has got the job of trying to entice him into joining Manchester United. Do you reckon he's going to do it?
No, because I've got a spanner in the works.
All right, slow down, slow down, Si. All right, slow down,
and
mate.
it is Ousmane Dembele.
All right, okay. That spanner is very obvious when it comes from you. Just throwing it out there, mate. It's not very secret spanner. All right. Ruben Diaz completed his move to Manchester City. We put that out about 6 weeks ago that Manchester City's main number one target was Ruben Diaz. However, they went for Koulibaly because the Diaz deal was costing too much. But seeing as Napoli didn't want to negotiate really with Manchester City because of their fractious relationship, they were only saying that Manchester City had to pay around the same price that they were going to have to pay for Ruben Diaz. So Manchester City went for their first choice from Ruben Diaz. And, well, it's a good thing that Lille didn't take Napoli up on that gentleman's agreement, because otherwise Gabriel would still be sitting there waiting for Koulibaly to be sold to get that deal over the line. We put out that Kolasinac was in discussions with Bayer Leverkusen on the 24th. It came out on the 29th that Arsenal are working out on a deal for Sai Kolasinac to go to Leverkusen. That was said by Fabrizio Romano. Leeds are in talks with Utrecht attacker Garano Kirk. Jerome, tell us about the attacker from Utrecht.
Yeah, so he's a winger. He's 24 years old. He's been with Utrecht since 2012, and although he's played in the first team for a few seasons now, last season was really his sort of breakout year. In 2020, he scored 14 goals in 18 appearances, and all types of finishes. He's sort of winger, and he's sort of scored headers from corners. You know, you don't normally see a winger score a header from a corner. On occasions, he hugs the touchline, but he's also comfortable coming inside. What I noticed about him was when he does get in the final third, he's very calm. He doesn't panic at all, and he a few occasions he sort of laid the ball on a plate to his sort of teammates. So yeah, he had a breakout year last season, and you know he's 24, so he's at like a prime age now, ready to sort of kick on. So maybe step up a level.
Do you reckon he's ready for the Premier League?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
All right, that remains to be seen. But if I trust anyone, Jerome, it's you. You didn't rate Hossein Mawar, so I mean, fucking hell, mate. Like, yeah. There we go. I'll rate you. All right. Don't forget, please. We've got a new writer on our team, a new member of the team. His name is Jordan Villagara. He's going to be doing some write-ups for our Instagram page on youth players, top youth players coming from around the world. His first one was done on Conrad de la Fonte of Barcelona. Top guy. Go and give him a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, we'll probably get Jordan on the show one time. So keep an eye out for his articles. There's going to be one coming out within the next few hours, probably after I've read it all. A confirmation that Saleh Kolasinac deal is on the cards. Fabrizio Romano put out that it will be done within the next 48 hours. From my understanding, Simon, can we get an update on that? That's still on the cards fully. It's just get the things tied up. What's
that one, sir? My things keep breaking up. Kolasinac, yeah. I expect that one to go through tomorrow.
All right, cool. So there we go. We put out on the 12th of September that Manchester United had put out an informal €95 million bid, which was rejected by Borussia Dortmund. We was also told that Manchester United weren't going to up that bid really, because they just feel that as it gets towards the end of the transfer window, that they're just going to put pressure on at the same price. and it's not working. After that, I think they put in an extra 15 million euros in structure, but still, Borussia Dortmund are not having any of it. Ross Barkley joined Aston Villa, and he played in his debut today. Well done, Ross Barkley. Jorginho is set to stay at Chelsea, with his agent dismissing talks of a move to Arsenal and PSG. Yet, why are there still rumours that Jorginho is a target for Arsenal?
He's not.
He's not. It's not. It's absolute nonsense. Jorginho is not a target for Arsenal. It's a lazy link. It comes from his time, Mikel Arteta's time at Man City, when Man City wanted him, and they put two and two together because there was talk of Arsenal and Chelsea in talks about a player. Chelsea wanted Guendouzi. Arsenal were asking for Callum Hudson-Odoi and Kante. That deal ain't going through because Callum Hudson-Odoi wants to stay, and they said completely not even a chance for Kante. Go on, Steve.
He's not. I don't think he's what Arsenal need anyway. He's
not. He's not. He's not the profile that they need.
You listen to these people on the TV programs and on the radios and on social media, and I don't know where they think he's going to fit in. I mean, the first thing they say, he's going to be a replacement if he's a make weight just in case the Osmawar don't happen.
But he's not a Hosmawar. He's not a Hosmawar. If anything, it'd be a Thomas Partey. But
exactly.
It's not. That's not. So what you're gonna get rid of? You're gonna get rid of Guendouzi to bring in a better version of Guendouzi? Like no. I'm sorry. It's just made up nonsense. Jens Petter Haig completed his move to AC Milan this week. The Bodo Glimt winger, I think it is, or midfielder. Jerome, tell us what it's about, because that team is actually a team that's actually doing bits at the moment, and I think I don't think it's going to be the last player that's going to be coming from that team within the next couple of years. Go on.
Yeah, so he's 20 years old. He's a winger, right-footed, but plays on the left predominantly. Now the team he played for in Norway, they actually played against Milan at the San Siro either last week or the week before in the Europa League.
Yeah, it was last week,
and he scored. He scored a goal. Really good in small, tight spaces. Great close control. Draws a lot of fouls. Now he's one of these wingers that doesn't really put a lot of crosses into the box. Most of his work is done dribbling and passing. This is a good stat. The past 2 seasons as a winger, he's only put in 28 crosses in the last 2 seasons. So good stat, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, quick stat.
Blew me away, mate. You know.
And for a winger in 2020, he scored a hell of a lot of goals. He scored 14 goals in 18 games.
So that's why, because he cuts in and shoots, isn't he?
Yeah. He's no David Beckham.
No, he's not. He's a forward. He's a forward, not a winger. Forward. Yeah. Another player that you looked at who played today, who I actually saw today, and I thought he had a brilliant debut for West Ham, was Slavia Prague right back Vladimir Kufau, who West Ham completed the signing of today. Go on, anyone that didn't see him today, Jerome, what's he about?
He didn't really put a foot wrong, did he, today? I saw that game at Leicester.
Yeah.
He's known for having a great engine. Now, the last 2 seasons he played at Slavia Prague, and they sort of dominate, I believe, that league. So he didn't really have to do a lot of defending the last 2 seasons. All his work was basically attacking. So, I mean, you would say that most of his work with West Ham will be defending, but based on today, they played so well.
Yeah, he got forward a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I think he scored a few. I think he scored maybe 3 goals in each of the past 2 seasons as a right back. I think he sort of runs a lot more than any other player on the pitch. Like, say the average is 11k, he'll do 12k each game. And I think he's known for sort of really putting in a lot of effort. So, as we said before, that's something that sort of wins over the fans, doesn't it? When they see a player, especially the West Ham fans, they love that. They need players that care and putting
I
effort.
think with West Ham especially, that's the first step in it. It's
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's put the effort in, and we're back here.
Yeah, that's why there's players like perhaps a Lanzini, whereby they've got the talent, but the fans got on their back because they don't put the effort in.
Yes, it's not consistent enough.
No.
Steve, did you have a Man City update? I know they're trying to definitely do business before the window shuts.
Yeah, just become a couple of Nicholas Tagliafico is the biggest one. They're definitely in for Nicholas Tagliafico, 100% on that.
Another defender.
Yeah,
They need a left back though. They need a left back.
They need a serious left back, and they haven't got one at the moment. And I've been told that they are talking with Ajax over him. Another thing that's come out today with Milik of Napoli, Man City need a striker.
Milik?
They want a striker. Yep. And that's what. And Milik's another one who's in their mind who they could be going for in the deadline day window.
Sorry, Steve. I was just on Russian radio 105.3 Capital FM, the only English speaking Russian radio out there, just before the show, and I actually said,
if we heard that,
I haven't.
You have.
Hey, I'm a professional. All right, I'm an actor. I'm a host. This is my job. All right. All right. Yeah. So I actually said on there that Man City are in for a striker because they don't quite have the trust in Gabriel Jesus and with Sergio Aguero's injury record. I did mention that long term they want Martinez, but short term they may bring in a striker before the deadline day. I didn't realise that they could be bringing in Milik.
I was told just before we come on that the fact is they're desperate for a striker. Jesus is out at the moment. Aguero is out at the moment. I mean, he's training, but they don't know when he's going to come. Like Man City don't work like that.
Yeah.
Right. If you was to ask me, I would say that they definitely want Martinez because I've been told before that they want Martinez, but I can't see probably that happening this window. And someone like Milik, until next summer, sounds perfect to me.
And I think it's something that you can get done quick as well because although is it not Napoli? No, it's Lazio. Thank God for that. Is he Napoli or Lazio?
I don't know. I might have got it wrong.
No, I don't know.
Is Napoli into?
Oh, mate, Steve, do you seriously reckon the deal's going to get done with Milik with Napoli in one day? It took 3 months to try and get Koulibaly over the line. They just gave up in the end.
Yeah, you don't know how much they're going to offer, do you? You don't know how much. Different clubs have got different relationships, but I got you now. I see what you mean. Yeah.
That's why I'm asking because I'm like, he's at Napoli, isn't he? Like They might have to look elsewhere. That might have to be a plan A and get plan B going at the same time, mate.
They actually want 3 players, but he said he didn't know who that one was, or he didn't want to tell me who that one was. One of the two, I don't know.
Steve, did you get confirmation on the Zinchenko link to Arsenal from your side as well?
Yes.
So that's confirmation. Yes. All right, cool. Yeah. So
yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%.
Is there any update on the Zinchenko? Or was it just left the talks, and was there any more discussion on that?
Well, Arsenal are wanting to bring him in tomorrow on deadline day.
They still want that deal done, yeah?
Yeah, so they've got to wait for Man City to sign a new left back, and then what they will do, they'll either do a permanent deal because it won't cost that much, or they could do a loan with an obligation. So then Zinchenko comes to us, which is a fantastic left backup to Kieran Tierney, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm excited over that one.
I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it as backup, mate. I like the word competition.
Yeah, competition.
And I think someone like Kieran Tierney would embrace that.
A lot of Man City fans, they like this kid. They say a lot of good things about him.
Yeah.
You see it on pitch, hard working, listens to the manager. Pep loves him. But he's not getting games, is he? So he's wanting game time.
And Arteta must know, mustn't he?
Yeah.
He must know what it's like, you know, from being at Man City. So it should be an easy transfer to do, really. When you
it should be because they obviously they don't see him as the number one choice. So so
I mean, Alaba's just too. There's too much awkwardness going on. I was told at the moment it's too awkward,
too complicated.
It is in this short space of time. It is too complicated, and I think this is going to be one of them ones where it, not necessarily the same level as Messi, but it's a Messi saga. And that's not a pun intended there, but the to and fro that's been going between Alaba's team and Bayern Munich, it's one that could potentially just go throughout the season, and then at any point he could sign. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
That's one part of a domino effect, isn't it? You know, where that signing goes and that signing goes, and then everything starts to domino effect. But
the whole thing's a domino effect, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've been saying that for this past week. I know a few clubs are getting impatient, but it's how it works. It's like a chain when you're buying a house. You can't move into that house until the person moves out that house that they want to buy. It's how a lot of things work. So unless you've got a team which is cleared to fit that player in, then you've got to get players out first.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a few that that I've got here that you just sort of go everything's sort of starting to fit now with one day to go. If that player gets sold and gone, then you think, everything sort of, slides down that domino.
I'm expected to see planes all over Sky tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is the NA show on? Is the NA show on?
It's going to be like the red. What's it called? Red Arrows, isn't it? Lucas Paqueta completed his deal from from AC Milan to Olympique Lyonnais. Todd Cantwell agreed personal terms. Any more on that, Steve? The Todd Cantwell deal to Leeds?
No, I that seems to have gone quiet.
Yeah,
gone quiet for me. There's a couple of things on Leeds. The Liverpool defender now we was talking about last week.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, he was on his way to. There was talks with Olympiacos.
Yeah.
But they made a £6 million bid, which was rejected. But now Leeds are in for him.
Leeds agreed personal terms previously, didn't they?
Yes, right. And the other one that they're interested in is it's Rafinha as well. Are
they actually interested in him?
This is what the guys always. I mean, going by the transfers that they've got already this summer.
Yeah.
Is the interest is either there or they get signed. So
what is the pool dead in the water then?
Sorry, it looks like it. It does look like it.
That's a shame. The Leeds fans wanted that one, didn't they?
It's a money thing. They want a lot of money, 45, 50, and Leeds are not prepared to pay that much. He's a very good player. He is a very good player, but obviously Leeds don't think he's that good.
All right. Well, I mean, even if you do think he's that good, it's 50 million is a big ask.
You could still get him tomorrow. Because then they could get to a point where they go, you know what, we'll bring it down a little bit more and we'll just take what we can, basically. All clubs are going to be doing that tomorrow. Yeah,
it's last minute.
Something that was interesting. Sorry, just because it's connected with Leeds again.
Yeah.
They still apparently want Daniel James, and apparently everything's agreed with Daniel James, but they're waiting on Jadon Sancho to see if he comes to Manchester United.
Why are they waiting?
And then
seriously,
Daniel James go. I'm serious.
Are Man United going to pay the money? Are Man United going to pay the money for Jadon Sancho?
They might have to after today.
There's a possibility.
Can he play defence?
Yeah.
It don't make him any better. Trust me.
I think Jadon Sancho would be like, you know what? You know that push I was going to do? I might not push as hard.
Alex Telles looks like it's going to be done.
Alex Telles is going to be done. That's going
to be done. So that's going to strengthen their defence, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Edison Cavani, that's done.
Edison Cavani,
That's done.
He's already in England, isn't he? Steve, do we have an Everton update?
An Everton update.
It's only because did they put a bid in for Ben Godfrey?
They've got him, haven't they?
The Bedford, yeah. The Ben Godfrey one. That's like Simon just said. That's more or less done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we can sort of hang you out on that. Well, half an out on it.
Yeah, you can never hang you out on anything, mate.
And also one that I got before I came on tonight, which Simon mentioned earlier, was Theo Walcott, and that he was leaving. And did you say Crystal Palace, Simon?
No,
there were Palace, West Brom, Crystal Palace, West Ham.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Yeah. No, but I got Theo Walcott's been in talks with Crystal Palace.
All right.
So,
all right.
And also
Roma.
But when you look at this domino effect, you look at Andros Townsend, you look at Wilfred Zaha,
Theo Walcott,
and then you look at Theo Walcott.
That makes sense.
And this is from my Everton bloke, who's again he's always pretty much spot on. Again, it seems one of them goes out, Theo would come into Palace.
Yeah,
and it's something that me and Simon has both said at different times of the show.
Locked on, very good, boys. Well done, well done.
Do you think he's still got it?
Yeah.
I mean,
do I think that Theo Walcott's got it for enough to play in a Premier League team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
I
has.
don't think he'd set the league alight, if you get what I mean, like he used to at Arsenal. But I think if you get consistency out of him, it's an upgrade on Townsend, put it that way.
No, but the thing is, you say set alight, but I don't think Theo Walcott ever got plaudits for a while he was at Arsenal. Like ever. Even when he left. People class him as a flop, but he scored 100 goals for Arsenal. So it's what set the world alight. Theo Walcott has been inconsistent for Everton, but if you play week in, week out for a team like Crystal Palace, in 30 games in a season, I think he'd score you 10 goals and get you a few assists. Now, is that a successful for Crystal Palace? I'd probably say it is. But it depends. It depends what you're looking for. Theo Walcott is not a winger. He's like a forward. He's like a second striker or a forward right. He's not a get the ball in and cross it kind of. He come back and he get a few assists, but he's not that player. He's there to score goals. And I think you need to put him in a position to score goals. Crystal Palace might utilise him a bit better. I just don't think he's ever found his position at any club.
And he used to get
Arsenal.
sorted, didn't he? He used to get
sorted every week. And
you can't cross the ball. You can't.
Even when he had Steve, even when he had that season where he was smashed it, he didn't really get plaudits that season. And I think he's got 14 goals and like 17 assists, something like that, and set up Van Persie for like 70% of his goals. But still, it wasn't good enough. So, because I think that when he came in at 16, I think people were looking for more. And I think where people were always looking for more. I remember when he scored that hat-trick for England, and people said, it's about time he done something. And I was like, well, he's 18. He's 18, but it's because people knew him through 16. He was in the World Cup at 16. By the time he's 18, it's about time. So it's I feel for Theo Walcott sometimes, man. I think it's very easy to call him a flop or whatnot.
I think it'd be a good move for him. I think it'd be a good move.
I think it'd be a good move. I still think it's Premier League level. I think he could do something at one of the clubs. And I think Crystal Palace is a good club. It's a club that's they're putting their arm around him. They love him. They love him there. The fans will love him. That kind of club.
I reckon Ian Wright will have a word with him.
I wouldn't be surprised. Ian Wright, Mark Bright, it's a community club, mate. It's a local club, but they're in the Prem. So
I think
I've got a lot of time for
that one's
Palace.
a big possibility. I think that's a big possibility, that one, especially with the Tanzan and the Zaha situations.
Exactly
big
that.
possibility.
Yeah, I wouldn't write that off at all. What are you like Norwich as well, Steve? What's going on? Emi Bendia, what's that with that one?
Well, he was on his way to Leeds, but that's Fenerbahce and Leeds. Leeds wanted him, didn't they, at one point?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's another one as a deadline day windows sort of coming closer.
Yeah.
The rumours have sort of disappeared, and others, Leeds, you can't keep buying everybody.
Well, they're trying to, but they're not getting them over the line now. They're running out of steam.
Yeah, I mean that was a shame. Michael Kuzantz. I mean, but no, the only other ones that got is Malasar, who's going to Liverpool.
Okay, is it still happening?
No, well, sorry, I shouldn't have gone. He's just desperate to leave for Liverpool because he wants to get out of the Championship.
So what? Because we put the story out about personal terms being agreed with Ismail Assar, and there was a problem, but they chose out Jota and Sarr, didn't they? It was a case of that, one or the other, and they chose Jota. So is it still on for Sarr, or what's the case?
I've been told by a person from the Echo that it's still on.
Okay.
That they still want Zaha, and he's desperate to leave for Liverpool.
All right. Tottenham completed the signing of Benfica striker Carlos Vinicius. Jerome, let's tell the world what kind of a striker this is, and will he be able to push Harry Kane, or even just be a rotation of Harry Kane, backup, whatever? Will he be good enough to fill the boots of Harry Kane?
Oh, so this has been the sort of dilemma for Spurs, isn't it? Finding a backup for Harry Kane. It's been so difficult for them. I think they've got half a chance with this guy. He's, his record last season, he was the joint top scorer in the Portuguese top division. So that's not a bad start. But he's 25 years old. He's a bit of a unit. He's 6'3". A lot of his games and a lot of his goals actually came from the bench. He wasn't sort of he wasn't like sort of the first name on the team sheet sort of player, but really effective when he came on. So I'd say he's built like a Giroud, but he's much more agile and more mobile than Giroud. He's not the sort of player that is going to really get involved a lot in the build-up. A little stat on him: a quarter of all of his touches were actually inside the penalty box. So he doesn't really get involved a lot outside of it.
All.
No, not a lot. He hasn't got any international caps for Brazil, which I'm a bit surprised at, to be honest. And going on loan to Spurs, he's got previous. This is actually his fourth loan since 2017.
Where was he previously? I've killed you there, haven't I?
Yeah, couple of European clubs.
Well done. Well rescued.
Yeah, but I think they've done well here, Spurs, this one, because he hasn't cost them an absolute fortune now, and he is a goal scorer. He scores goals, and I think he'll suit the Premier League as well. The type of player he is.
All right. Previously, went on loan to Napoli. He was also on loan to Monaco.
Right. There we go. Yeah.
All right.
I've got some news that's breaking at the minute. I've received on a message.
All right.
Matteo Guendouzi has joined Hertha Berlin on a season-long loan with no purchase option.
So that's got to be Samani potentially coming to
his
Arsenal
replacement.
As his replacement, as we previously said. Boys and girls, if you are watching, breaking news is happening already, on a transfer exchange show, All right? Tell us what it's about. Tell us what it's about. Great there, Simon. Love that.
Well done, Simon. Well done, mate.
It's definitely an upgrade, the one Guendouzi, isn't it? Samari. Wow.
Yeah. Go on.
Boubakary Samari from Lille.
Yeah.
So yeah, central midfield. He's 21, 6'2". I mean, name any attribute you want in a central midfielder, and this guy's got it. He's played for the French under-21 team. His French under-21 boss has already said that although he's despite his age, he's already a very complete player. And the coach from Lille said, and he's only expressing 40% of his potential. Skillful, powerful, mobile, very quick feet. Can play in a 2-man midfield or a 3-man midfield as well. He was actually in PSG's youth teams, and then moved to Lille in 2017. I think PSG they've just got so many players that it's hard for people to break into their first team. So yeah, if Arsenal sign him, potentially very exciting central midfielder, and exactly the type of profile that Arsenal need, I think.
Yeah, and again, as we were saying, Simon, just breaking news there. Guendouzi looks like he's on his way to a season-long loan to Hertha Berlin. Which
good club, a good club,
very good club. Which we did say in previous posts that if Guendouzi does go, the likelihood is that Arsenal will make an attempt to try and bring in Soumani. Now, we're not saying that Soumani's coming in. Please, people, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. We are not saying that Soumani is coming into Arsenal. We are saying that Arsenal will make an attempt to bring him in. Okay.
See, what I was told.
I say it like that because people seem to get confused about a lot of things.
Yeah, I was told is that Arsenal were going to go in for him in January as a permanent buy. That's what I was told.
Okay.
But now it could turn into we'll go for him now because he has been offered by Lille to Arsenal, and Arsenal have scouted him for 2 years.
And he's already agreed personal terms with Arsenal, as we previously broke earlier on in the week, or might have been last week.
I'd be excited for that.
Is Papi Cisse has completed his move to Turkish Super League giants Fenerbahce on a free transfer. We put that out. That's out. Top work from our boys there. Manchester United were in talks with Atalanta about Amada Traore, but he's gone to Parma on loan instead. Get in. Stay away from Man United. And that's not anything against Man United, yeah? But this kid doesn't need to be going in the under-23s. No. This kid needs to be playing. He is absolutely mustard. Jerome did a little thing on him previously, banging. I've done write-ups on the kid. He's quality. And he's already featured for the Atalanta first team, scored on his debut against Udinese. He scored an absolute weldy. If you watch any of his footage from his youth team time, he takes the mick. He absolutely takes the mick out of the players that he's playing against. He's a star for the future. As I was saying, Arsenal agreed terms with Soumani, and we took back our previous quote that said that he was an alternative for Thomas Partey. He's not an alternative for Thomas Partey. He's in fact a replacement for Matteo Guendouzi.
I've got more information as well on Guendouzi. Sorry, they will not pay any money for the loan, but they're paying all of Guendouzi's wages. Okay, even better.
That's quite a standard thing. That's the same deal as what Arsenal got for Dani Ceballos, which was a season on loan, no fee because they pay the wages. As I was saying. Was not a replacement. Soumani is not a replacement for Thomas Partey. He's in fact an alternative. He's in fact a replacement for Matteo Guendouzi. If Arsenal cannot offload Guendouzi in the window, they will make an attempt to bring in Soumani in the following window. That is January. But there is a chance that Arsenal could now push through for that move for Soumani. I feel like I'm on Sky Sports. Oh my gosh. There's now a chance that Arsenal can make a move for Soumani off the back of Guendouzi going on loan to Hertha Berlin.
We need to change this thing that moves all his names at bottom to yellow.
Yeah. Now you've got to pay for that.
Right. Next, Carvel.
Having a laugh, isn't you? All right. West Ham are confident they could strike a deal with Chelsea for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. What are the chances in that? Good chance, do you reckon?
Oh, West Ham
do you reckon that'd be a good move for Ruben Loftus-Cheek?
Yeah.
I think it would be as well. I think he needs. I think, especially look, we've got the got the Euros in next summer, so if he wants a
Yeah.
chance to get in that, he needs to have consistent play.
Next to Declan
West Ham would be grateful of anything at the minute, I think.
Yeah, it's I think they would be.
Signing wise, I mean.
Troy Deeney. Well, Troy Deeney could potentially still be leaving Watford. Who wants Troy Deeney? I don't know. I'm sure there's someone out there in the Premier League. West Brom, I heard, but that one went cold. It was a bit surprised as well. Oh, Douglas Costa looks like he could be going to Bayern Munich on loan for another season. That one has literally just dropped. PSG made an attempt to bring in Dele Alli on loan. Is there any more on Dele Alli going on loan to PSG? It's not dead. They're going to go in again, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not dead. They're going to go again tomorrow and see if they can try and get him. But Dele Alli has agreed personal terms with PSG.
Yeah.
He wants it, and Mourinho basically is trying to push him out of the door.
Yeah, they just need to up the fee on the loan, I think it is. Yeah, get that done, because I think that would be a good move for Dele Alli. Yeah, I think he needs a change of scenery. I just don't think the manager fits for him. Inter Milan are preparing a bid for Marcos Alonso. They're not, are they? I think they're going for someone else, aren't they? I'm pretty sure they are. Damari Gray could potentially be on his way out of Leicester. They're looking to get him. They're open to offers as he's in his final year of his contract.
Good player.
One very. He's not hit it like everyone would have thought he would have done.
Yeah, he hasn't been a regular, has he? He hasn't. And
I think that's what it is. He needs a team where he's playing regular football week in, week out, so he could just get on with it. There's not much room for everyone when you're trying to be a top 6 team, and if you're trying to learn your trade, it's a tough one, especially when you come from the Championship. One for Steve. Wesley Fofana was confirmed signing this week, and he was actually on the bench today. Was he? Or was he in the crowd today? Was he just in the crowd? He might have just been in the crowd. Steve, tell us about your joy on that one.
Yeah, no, it was a long journey. Not as long as the Ivan Toney one.
Oh, bloody hell.
It weren't that long. But
by the time Ivan Toney landed in, I was putting in my pension, mate.
No, it was, Leicester wanted him pretty much from the beginning. We pretty much said that, that they wanted a centre half from day dot when the transfer window started. We were saying that Johnny Evans only had a year on his contract, and sadly, he's been a great servant, but he's very injury prone now. They needed a centre back. They identified Wesley Fofana. They didn't want to get rid of him. Wesley Fofana eventually said, "Look, he wants to go. I want to, put his foot down and said I want to leave." There was a little, this and that with the wages, but they ended up getting their man, and they've got one hell of a player. Yeah,
they've got a top player. There's another player Southampton are after. Is Ibrahima Diallo of Brest. I don't know if anyone's had a little look at him. Steve, have you had a little look at him?
Yeah, we did. I did him on a Golden Boy, and I was waxing lyrical about him. I think Jerome.
No, it was me.
Jerome didn't put on a player profile.
I'm just about to write down that I would like Jerome to do a player profile on this guy for next week, because I did a transfer exchange show, the videos during the week when I do them. I did a video on Diallo, and I would have been happy for him over Samani, as another alternative to, because this kid. Guy, he also came through the ranks at PSG, and then went to Monaco. Didn't really do anything at Monaco. I think it just didn't fit. Then went to Brest, and he's just become a player since then.
Yeah, he's one of them players in the centre of midfield. He was like a monster, and he just ran it. I think I remember saying at the time that every time he come on the pitch and he went into that centre midfield, it was like he owned it.
Yeah.
Powerful runner, big, strong. As I said, I think I said he reminded me of Patrick Vieira at one point, and I think Simon said he reminded him of Gilberto Silva. So this is the type of player Southampton have got.
Yeah.
And any Southampton fans are watching, you've got one head of a player. Believe me.
He's a. I don't know whether he's completed the signing, but they're in for him, I think. But he's also got quick feet as well, so he can also get out of trouble in tight spaces in that midfield role. If they can get that one over the line, if they haven't already, they've got a serious player there. Diego Dalot has joined AC Milan on a season-long loan from Manchester United. Liverpool are set plan a January swoop for Jeremy Doku. Stephen,
not really got much to update on it. We mentioned it the other week that Liverpool went in for Jeremy Doku. Anderlecht refused the offer, but due to the financial problems at Anderlecht, they got back into Liverpool and said if there's a good enough offer, then Jeremy Doku will they'll listen. But unfortunately, not this summer. So Liverpool said that they'll come back in for him January. Whether he'll go to somewhere else in this window, we'll have to wait and see. But again, another excellent player, a really excellent player.
Yeah, I mean, Jerome's already spoken about him a couple of times. Very good player. Dropped some absolutely mean stats on him as well. Top player. Diego Perotti completed his move to Fenerbahce. It looks like any deal with Cullen Hudson-Odoi going to Bayern Munich is off, as it looks like both parties want to stay. That's Frank Lampard and Cullen Hudson-Odoi want to stay. Inter Milan are closing on a deal from Parma fullback and former Manchester United right back Matteo Darmian. Mark Roca and Espanyol's Mark Roca has reached an agreement to sign for Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich's first team is excellent, but it's their squad that I'm hearing is a bit weak, and this is why some of these deals that you're hearing that Bayern Munich are potentially trying to bring in, like Hudson-Odoi, a Max Aarons, a Mark Roca, which may surprise people, is because they need depth in the squad, and they've not exactly started the season very well. They lost again the other day, didn't they? Yesterday, what's the day? They're hitting a bit of a patch. Samuel Titi looks like he could be on his way back to Lyon if they're trying to swoop in that deal, but also Roma and Napoli are interested. Manchester United have upped Chris Smalling's price tag, meaning that negotiations with Roma over a transfer have broken down. Betis are keen to bring in Juan Merida to bolster their left-back position. Juan Merida was the one that Steve done a golden boy on it, weren't it?
Oh, Paul, you got me there. Must have been going back a bit.
I think the words were "he's no good" were coming from the team that he was loaned out to, because he was meant to go on a two-season-long loan to Borussia Dortmund, weren't it? And then they cancelled it after a season.
No, that was Schalke.
Oh, was it Schalke?
Yeah, because I spoke to Marie about him.
Oh,
and that's how I got the information, where she said he was absolute toilet.
Oh, wow, yeah. To put it in the most bluntest term you could put it in, absolute toilet. Torino have reached an agreement to sign Atletico Madrid striker Nikola Kalinic. Still going. Manchester United is set to sign another Uruguayan in Facu Pelesti. According to reports, Manchester United agreed a fee of around £10 million for the 18-year-old. Steve, I know you had a couple of more transfer information on your list. Let's go through that before I forget.
We pretty much covered them. The only ones that were left now was Celtic, and this was a phone call from a mate that apparently Celtic are after Robert Snodgrass, and he'll be leaving.
Okay.
And Marcus Alonso has fallen out with Frank Lampard, so he'll be on his way, and that was about it. There's I was just on my phone just as we were speaking that I just see that Saïd Berahino was linked with Aston Villa.
Okay.
But he wants £60,000 a week.
Are you surreal? He's playing in Belgium.
Well, he's 60. I mean, Simon. I don't know if you find out. I mean, what's £60,000 in the Premiership these days? I'm not.
I mean, yeah, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but Saïd Berahino on his he needs to look. I'm not here telling people what they should be doing and how much they should be asking for, yeah. But Saïd Berahino, when he was in the Premier League, over 2-3 seasons, was dead, was trash. Whether it's his fault of his own, whether it's because he lost his head, whether it's because the manager exiled him into the reserve team, I don't know. Stories come out, whatever, clean slate. But do you not feel like you should probably prove yourself a bit before asking for 60 grand a week?
No, it's just ridiculous.
It's like you said, in the grand scheme of things in the Premier League, that might not be a lot, but in my eyes, a 60 grand a week player should still be someone who's an established Premier League player. And Saïd Berahino is not proved to be that. So, all right. So,
and also, Juventus have rejected another offer from Aston Villa for Matteo Di Salagio. He's basically turned around and said that he doesn't want to go to Villa. He doesn't want to play in the Premiership. So that was pretty blunt.
All right. Hey, what's this one? Moise Kean is on his way to PSG. He had a medical this morning, and he looks like he's going to be on season-long loan to PSG. And that was it. Simon, have you got any other updates for me? Oh no, sorry. Sorry, just go on, Si. Go on.
Oh, I had one update.
Go on.
And I was told this before we came on here, and this is very reliable. Obviously, not going to say the name, but it's very reliable. And I can 100% say that if I didn't tell you this, then you'll know, obviously, that it's just a rumour. But Arsenal, a week ago, started contract talks with Barcelona for Ousmane Dembele.
I knew that was coming.
So basically, when Man United were in for him, and they're basically trying to prize him away from Barcelona, he doesn't want to go to Manchester United. Pogba has tried talking to him, and it's not worked. But he has given the green light to Arsenal and Barca because he wants to link back up again with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And what I found out today, 2 days ago, is agreed personal terms with Arsenal. But they're discussing how to do the deal because Arsenal want to do it as a loan for a season with an option to buy. And this is because of his injury record. They don't want to do an obligation. Barcelona are willing to let him leave for an obligation of, I think it's 50 to 60 million euros, basically. But Aubameyang is the one that's pushing this deal and trying to get this one to Arsenal. So we'll have to watch what happens.
They'll be strong if they've got Dembele on one side. Aubameyang, we spoke before the show. I mean, he's got to start playing Aubameyang down the centre, and obviously they've pretty much sorted for the right hand side. It'd be perfect.
Well, what this guy's told me as well is that Lacazette's future isn't safe. They have to they've been making a decision whether to offer him a new deal, which they offered Lacazette a new deal, but they took it away from the table after Aubameyang signed his new contract. Now that offer is back on the table because he's only got 2 years left. So do you keep him or do you sell him? So what Arsenal are wanting to do is send Lacazette to Barcelona with a loan and an obligation, and Ousmane Dembele comes the other way with a loan obligation.
If you was Barcelona, are you taking Lacazette?
Who's their centre forward? Barcelona. Who's their main striker?
No one. They've got rid of this. There's Suarez is not
Suarez
there.
is gone.
Suarez is gone, isn't he?
What?
Got no one.
No one.
What I thought it was very strange that Lacazette didn't play in the week
Exactly.
in the Carabao Cup, and yet again today he didn't play. So reading something into that could mean something perhaps, because you wouldn't think Arteta would do that. You thought, he's playing Nketiah midweek, so he'll start Lacazette, and I don't think he even came on today. Lacazette.
Yeah, because I was told as well, because I said to this guy, well, Lacazette with Barcelona, why is it left it this late and all that? And then he goes, he's been in regular conversations with Antoine Griezmann, and he wanted to go to Atletico before he came to us because of Griezmann. So Griezmann's trying to get him to go over there, and Aubameyang's trying to get Dembele to come to us. So you could see a swap.
Can I ask, like, everyone, just like, who do you think needs to do the most business tomorrow?
Arsenal.
What out of the whole league? So you just got a biased head on, mate. Like, you just saw Man United get their asses handed to them.
I feel about Barcelona and Arsenal, mate. Sorry.
Oh, you talk about everyone. Like, Steve, I think there's loads of clubs.
Someone said Man City. Someone said Man City.
Mate, loads of. I don't.
Loads of clubs do.
Everton. I'm just trying to think of the clubs that don't, and that's the easiest way. If I'm honest, Everton, I don't think do, because they've got most of their signs over the line already, and you said they've done that Godfrey one, basically done. That's all they really needed. Maybe a backup somewhere, but I very much doubt it. Other than that, I can't. Chelsea, they're probably done.
Liverpool, they're done.
Liverpool are done.
They're done.
I don't see anyone else that doesn't need to buy it. I think everyone else needs to do business. I think it's going to be mental. I think there's clubs that can't do business, and I think because of money situations, but they're going to still want to try and do loans and everything.
Yeah, I mean, not because of our allegiance or anything like that, but you're talking. I think Arsenal need to do the most, and then probably Man United.
Well,
the thing is, they've bought so many new players in the short space of time. United, they bought Van der Beek came in. He's not starting, is he?
He's not starting. They should never have bought him. He should never have gone.
Man United's team for me is not as bad as what people make out. Yes, I know Tottenham today ripped them to pieces, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is their biggest problem.
But I think Man United missed balance as well. There's no balance to it. Yeah. You've got a lot of midfielders. You've got strikers playing in wing positions. There's no balance to the team.
I just think it's coaching with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You give Arteta that Man United team, he'll win the league with that Man United team. It's coaching. Coaching.
They've got to come to the conclusion that they've got a different goalkeeper at the club, and that De Gea has not been the same for the last 2-3 years, and they've got to bring this Dean Henderson in, because
Ed's gone.
I think he's gone. I think his head's gone. And even the backs now, you look at their backs. Okay, they'll bring Telles in, who's an excellent player.
Yeah.
But you look at the centre backs, Harry Maguire. I mean, that was a disaster buy, and they still need someone next to him for me.
And also, Wan-Bissaka's not working out, is he really?
No. I don't know.
Brilliant defensively. But...
Yeah, I think because the thing is that I don't understand about Wan-Bissaka is Wan-Bissaka started off as a winger, like many fullbacks do. But his defensive side is excellent. He's seriously. But I saw him try and put a cross in today. It was, and if that's the level of crossing you're putting in as a professional footballer, like you need some serious hours on the training pitch, because the ball got ahead of him, the right pace to cross it in, and he just shanked it wide. He just absolutely sliced it, and I was just think, and all I hear about Wan-Bissaka is great defensively. Going forward, he's not got enough. And you can't be a one-dimensional fullback these days. You have to be. You have to have it all. You have to be able to go forward and defend.
Spurs done.
I think Spurs have had an excellent window so far. I don't know
One more
too much.
signing, I think. I think they need to get Skriniar over the line. And
Skriniar, innit? Sorry,
I think if they
Jerome,
get him,
Skriniar. Sorry, before we go, Skriniar. Do you tell the viewers about Skriniar, and then I'll go back to you, sir, on a little Thomas Partey hour update, seeing as people are probably fucking dying to hear anything on it.
Yeah. So quickly on Skriniar, he's 25. He plays centre back for Inter Milan.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Slovakia, and he's sort of Martin Skrtel's successor for the Slovakian national team. He is super aggressive. I mean, when you see him running after players, it looks like he's got like a bee in his bonnet. He just looks angry all the time. He sort of plays on the edge, but for someone that's so aggressive and strong like that, he doesn't seem to pick up a lot of yellow cards, which I found quite surprising. He's been described as a leader both sort of on and off the pitch. One of the only question marks about him is his sort of pace, and if he was to play a high line, sort of getting caught in behind. But he's not a slouch, but that's sort of one of the question marks against him. But if you want a sort of, a strong, solid centre back, this guy's sort of really, really highly thought of in Europe as one of the best.
All right. So Tottenham could be getting Tottenham seem to be. I really rate the business that Tottenham have done this season. This window.
Højbjerg settled in, isn't he?
Højbjerg, Doherty, just even bringing back Bale. I mean, that's only a matter of time to see whether that one works out. But I think bringing back someone like Gareth Bale gives a lift.
I thought Reguilon was absolutely brilliant.
Reguilon was very good today, wasn't he? You can see why there was a lot of clubs after him.
And Ndombele has turned
was very good.
Dominated
today.
That midfield.
Bossed it. So I think Tottenham could be an actual force this season. Little update: Thomas Partey, Houssem Aouar. I know there was heads absolutely went yesterday. Absolutely went off the back of a chairman turning around and saying, he wasn't the chairman, but a source from Lyon saying the deal was off. These things happen in deals, people. Like, deals can be on 1 minute and off the next. And especially if the chairman of the club takes the deal off the table. Like, this happens in transfers, people. From our knowledge, the deal was not off. Man United got set a deadline with Jadon Sancho. 2 months later, they're still negotiating a deal, which Borussia Dortmund say is over, but they're still talking to each other about the deal, and they know that if Man United pay the money, then it's over the line. We have had information on more information on the transfer and potentially what changed in the transfer from what we were told. Personally, I'd rather keep that to myself because I think that's something that will come out in the papers. I'm not here to make excuses about things that we said at a certain stage and have changed. So I don't feel like the need to bring that to people's attention because I personally feel that is something that will be out in the papers. So we'll leave that one as it is. But as I said, the Houssem Aouar deal, from my knowledge, from Simon's knowledge, and all the other people that work behind the scenes on this, the deal's not off. All right. So please relax, because there's no reason why that one statement, as opposed to every other statement where the chairman was saying that he's going to stay, make sure that people stay, are off. All right. So until Tuesday, we see what happens. Thomas Partey, the same situation. Arsenal will try and renegotiate a deal with Atletico Madrid. I've said that previously. I feel that they will, and we've been told that they will try and renegotiate a deal with Atletico Madrid. The chances are there's probably something worked on with Lucas Torreira in making that deal happen. So I think it'd be foolish of Arsenal to come out of the Lucas Torreira deal and not even speak about anything that could potentially happen with Thomas Partey. Will they pay a release clause? Who knows? But I know that they will be trying to renegotiate a deal before the deadline's done tomorrow evening. what other deals were there with Arsenal? Sorry, hit me up. Let's just say players' names. Socrates.
Zaha.
No, I'm talking about outs. Arsenal need to get
outs.
players out. All right,
Yeah,
people, please don't forget Arsenal need to get players out. This was always a thing. Arsenal need to get players out before they bring players in. Torreira looks like he's on his way out. All right, Kolasinac is on the line on his way out. Kolasinac deal is still on. So anyone that's screenshotting and sending me, you told me this, the deal's not off. And also Fabrizio Romario also came out after us and said the deal was nearly done within 48 hours. So please remember, relax on these ones, people, because deals take longer, especially when Arsenal are involved, it seems like. Socrates looks dead in the water now. And unless an English club come in for him, he's probably going to stay for the remainder of the season.
He has got offers, though, in Qatar as well, though. He has got offers in Qatar, so if
he wants to stay in London, send him to Qatar. Mustafi. Who was the player that Lazio potentially bought instead of Mustafi? I've not been told the deal was off, though. But is it offside?
I've not heard it's off, no.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It weren't a defender that they bought, it were a winger.
Nah, they bought in...
They got a midfielder, I think, as well.
Nah, they bought in... what's his name? Who'd they buy in?
Jerome, Google it.
I'm Googling it now, mate. Don't worry. I'm bang on it. I'm bang on it.
They're like, I'm just thinking.
They bought in...
I've not been told it's off.
Yeah, I've not been told it's off. But they bought in... didn't they bring in that centre-back? Hogs or something like that? I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, while you're looking, Callum Chambers, he's been offered to West Ham.
Okay.
As well. Because it looks like with Fulham, it's not going to go through. But he has been offered to West Ham. Rob Holding could still leave. Newcastle on the final day could happen. And West Ham have also inquired about Rob Holding. So we'll just have to see what
deal could potentially come back on then.
Yeah, so you've got Torreira out. You've got Guendouzi that's on his way now. You've got Kolasinac that's pretty much done to Bayer Leverkusen. So that's 3 players gone. Plus, there's probably, what I've been told, loans for Reece Nelson, Joe Willock, and Emil Smith-Rowe. That's 6.
All right. So, business. It's going to be busy for Arsenal. It's going to be busy for the majority of the teams in the Premier League and in Europe. And as I said, people, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow all of our platforms, because from 9:30 tomorrow morning, we will have updates. We will have transfer talk. We will even let you guys get involved in a little bit of a Q&A session for us, asking us questions. Please try to be nice. All right. Before we go, let's have a look. The usual people, do your deadline day stream. Let's see the madness. Oh, yeah, Realist999, thank you very much for joining us as usual. OMOE4, thank you very much. New name, Akbar Bashir. I saw you last week. Thank you for coming back, Akbar. Glenn Cook, you're always here, regular. Thank you very much. Gareth Lewis, chatting to the people in the comment section. That's my boy, Gareth Lewis. Thank you very much there. Corey Coburn, always here, regular. Shout out to Corey. Done a podcast with him once. Good kid. Called him a kid. He's not even a kid. He's a grown man. H4S, thank you very much for joining us again. Mihai, shout out to Mihai. He writes the best comments. I swear. Him and Steve, yeah, and Bob. Him, Steve, and Bob, yeah. When you get to the comment section, it's like that. Get a cup of tea, get a couple of biscuits, you dunk them, you start reading their comments, mate. Proper good guys. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, fantastic sense of humour.
Yeah.
I've been cracking up. Brilliant. Keep doing it. Keep commenting.
Someone said, Simon, you're deluded. That's why he's here. That's why we love him. All right. Where we're at. A lot of boys and girls. I love the fact that you are absolutely going to town in the comment section with each other and in a great conversations as well. Jonathan Cox, thank you for being patient with us. And me being patient with you. Good guy. Good win.
Good win.
Good win. Thank you very much for joining. Good win. Good support. Top support. Thank you very much, people. Hey, I tell you what, that comment section was very, very, very friendly. See you next week, Realist Night. Hey, look at that. Hey, look at that.
See you next week.
I'm tearing up. They're talking to each other, saying, I'll see you next week. Hey, this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted. Thank you very much, people. Oh, as I said, if you're not working tomorrow, people, you better be tuning into KS1 TV. Yeah? Tell your friends to tune in because we are going global. All right? I was just on, if you didn't know, I was on Russia's only English-speaking radio, 105.3 Capital FM. I was on that before. Next, you'll be seeing me in Colombia. You'll also be seeing me in Germany and Russia again tomorrow, of course. Make sure you sign in to see these beautiful faces. All right? And this winning smile from Jerome. I'm going to be giving him. I'm going to be with Jerome. Yeah, he's like the player profile man. Yeah, it's going to be like new players come in. What's he like? Send it to Jerome. A couple of hours later, Jerome's going to be like, oh, this player's going to be like, all right. So it's going to. I'm buzzing for tomorrow because like this is like doing this live. It's like doing all the stuff we do in the background, but it's going to be live. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I still can't get over that entrance. That was
Akbar. Indian time tomorrow, please. Like, I mean, Akbar, what's the time? What's the time now? No, hey, it's 24 hours, Akbar. I say 24 hours. It's like 15 hours. All right. So it's got to be some time you're going to be awake. Akbar, come on, talk to me quickly. Yeah. What time is it then now? Here we go. Akbar's typing. I can see Akbar typing. He's saying it's. Someone could have checked that themselves in that time, Akbar. You let me down.
You have to let us know where you're from next time. Just tell us where you're from.
All right.
All over
Indian
the world.
time. Indian. I'm doing this for you, Akbar. Time. All right. It's current. Raw. It's currently 2:37. It's 2:30 in the morning. Akbar, you're an animal. Love that. Okay. I'll tell you what. So in the morning, all right, it'll be a good time for you, Akbar. So we're talking 9:30 English time. UK. All right. So 2:00 in the afternoon. We're going to be live from 2:00 in the afternoon in India by proxy UK. We're still going to be in the UK, but we're going to be live at 2:00 in the afternoon in India. So make sure, Akbar, tell everyone around you, yeah, come and watch. In fact, just tell everyone, locals, come in to my living room and watch the Transfer Exchange show all day. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, and all of them subscribe, all right? Send it about. Thank you to my panel. Thank you, Steve, top right, Chief Scout.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to see you tomorrow. The Simon, the chef, pal, breaking news live. It's the second time it's happened. This time, he didn't reveal the name of our source. But Simon, top job there with Gwendozi one, mate. It's going to go up on the page in a second. Thank you very much, top Simon. Job. He's going to be there tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everyone. 2:00 in the afternoon.
He's looking forward to it. And of course, it's the world's greatest voice. The greatest smile in YouTube. It's our player analysis. The marksman. It's Jerome Marks. I tell you what.
Yes. Can you take this?
That's not a bad outro. That's not a bad outro, is it?
Can't beat that.
You can't beat that. All right. Thank you very much to all our guests. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Stay safe. And make sure you like, subscribe, and watch us tomorrow. All right.